Hi everyone, it is Kirsty and you know me as the Criminal Astrologer. Today I am doing an introduction to the case of the Vallows children, Laurie Vallow, Chad Daybell, and more importantly little Joshua, JJ and Tylee that are currently missing. JJ is 7 years old and Tylee is 17. The reason this whole case came about is because these two beautiful children haven't been seen since September of 2019. Okay, so what I want to do is go through a basic who's who, an outline of what's what. You'll see some clips along the way that will make sense of it all. So hopefully I can tell the story in a way that will be understood and then show that I have certain times that I can actually use for doing charts and then ultimately doing a map. It's going to take a few different parts. It's not going to happen just in this one video. So like I said, this is an introduction. Okay, so I'll show a picture of Laurie Vallow afterwards, but basically this is the family chart and what's going on. So I'll explain that to you. So Laurie Vallow is the center of it all, obviously here. She was her third husband. She was married to a man named Joseph Ryan. He died in 2018 of an apparent heart attack. They wanted to exhume him to check whether this was true, but he was cremated, so that was impossible. They had two children. Well, Colby was the son of Laurie's second husband, William, but he took Joseph's last name, so that's Colby Ryan. Now, he has spoken out to his mum asking her to say what's happened. And then they had Tylee, and she's the one that's missing. This is Tylee here. Okay, then on the other side, we have Charles Vallow, which is Laurie's fourth husband. He died on the 11th of July 2019 at roughly 3:40. The police were interviewing him at 3:45, as you'll see. Now, Charles Vallow, we've got his sister and his sister's husband and etc. JJ is Laurie and Charles's adopted son, and this is JJ, and he's missing. Now, Laurie became infatuated and ultimately married Chad Daybell, which became her fifth husband. Chad Daybell's wife died just for no reason in October of 2019. So 2019 was a pretty bad year from a lot of people dying. Now, what this line here is Alex Cox, and that is actually Laurie's brother. Alex Cox was responsible for shooting and killing Charles Vallow, Laurie's fourth husband, as you'll see in the upcoming clip. Then, as you'll see afterwards, Alex Cox actually died in December 2019 at around about 3:30 p.m. December 12th, 2019. Here's a picture of all the people involved in this. There's Laurie Vallow. She's the person in the centre of this. Chad Daybell, which is her latest husband, who is also a part of this. People are asking him, does he know where the children are? This is Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife, who died in October of 2019. Her body has actually been exhumed to see if she was poisoned. This is Joseph Ryan, Laurie's third husband. He died of an apparent heart attack in 2018 and was cremated, so nothing can be checked out. Now, these two people, Melanie Bordeaux is Laurie's niece. She left her husband, Brandon Bordeaux, to follow Chad Daybell and go and live in Rexburg, Idaho. Brandon Bordeaux was actually nearly shot. Somebody attempted to shoot him on October the 2nd, 2019. So there's another two people that could be added over here. So Melanie Bordeaux followed Alex Cox, Laurie's brother, Laurie and Chad Daybell to Rexburg, where they apparently joined this church that you'll see coming up. Some information about the cult. It pretty much looks like a cult. Doomsday stuff. These people were involved in that. So that's a bit of a who's who. Now I'm going to run through the dates. Okay, so the dates I have are this. July the 11th, between 3 p.m. and 3:45, as you'll see on the YouTube clip, there's a timestamp there. Charles Vallow was shot by Alex Cox, Laurie's brother. He said it was in self-defense. Anyway, I'm doing dates now. I won't say much more about that. The 10th of August 2019, the grandparents of JJ and Tylee spoke to JJ on FaceTime for 36 seconds and felt as though he was being coaxed into what to say. That was the last time they spoke to him. He was reported missing on the 23rd of September 2019. Tylee was last seen at Yellowstone National Park on the 8th of September 2019. On October the 1st, 2019, Laurie and her brother Alex was seen renting a storage unit and carrying things in and out of there roughly 10 times. October the 19th, 2019, Tammy Daybell dies. The 29th of November, they started to get suspicious about where the children were. The 5th of December, Laurie and Chad Daybell got married. And then the 21st of December, Laurie, started to become a person of interest. So, Brandon Bordeaux was attempted to be shot through his window on October the 2nd, 2019. And so just after the 5th, when they got married, on the 12th of December, Alex mysteriously dies. As you'll hear in the 911, he's alive, but he dies shortly after. Roughly 3:25 to 3:30 p.m. on the 12th of December 2019. So Alex has murdered Charles Vallow,
and her husband are arguing, yes, verbal argument, And then your niece pulls out a bat?
Well, it wasn't. He was getting close, and she came out to defend my sister with her bat.
Your niece?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she poked at him, and he took it away.
Okay.
And then I stepped in and told them they needed to separate.
Right.
So then my sister leaves with my niece.
And how long ago did they leave? Been like an hour, 10 minutes?
20 minutes, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. So not terribly long.
No. And then,
Did you stay in your bedroom?
no.
Okay, why did you stay just in your bedroom, close the door? Is that something you didn't think about? Or?
Didn't even occur to me.
Okay, so walk me through it. So you go back into your room
So I just went back to the living room. Like, what is your problem?
with the gun.
Yes. And I said, I want you to put that bat down. He wouldn't do it. He's like, and he came at me with the bat again after he'd already hit me in the head. So I shot him to stop him.
Okay, then what happened?
That was it.
Okay. Is it Alex or Alexander? What do you go by? Do you go by Alex or Alexander?
Alexander.
Okay. Do you live
I
at
go by
religious group that counts Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow as its members. Right now, they're not speaking, and the other members have refused to talk to reporters as well. That is, until tonight. Our chief investigative reporter, Morgan Lowe, has the inside look at the Vallow-Daybell cult.
It is a story made for the tabloids.
Lori, where are your kids?
Lori
Daybell and Lori Vallow, to find out why they have so many fervent supporters, even in the face of the crimes they're accused of committing.
On the streets of Rexburg, Idaho, we start to get a clearer picture of a mysterious, loose-knit group of people who follow Chad Daybell.
Sounds like a preparedness group for the end of the world, doomsday type of thing.
An offshoot of the Mormon Church with extreme views. And lots of people in this community know about it.
I think that they have their own version, another subgroup, I guess you could say. And I think everyone here, including myself, thinks that's so interesting because we know the base of the religion, but we don't know their personal life, their version, yeah.
We hear that Ground Zero is Chad Daybell's neighborhood, so that's where we are headed, looking for somebody within the group who will talk. Moments later, I'm taking a walk with a follower. She says she and Chad both communicate with spirits, that they are true members of the Mormon Church, preparing for the end of the world, and she doesn't judge Chad, even if he's guilty, because we're all sinners.
There's always going to be the ability to take scripture and use it for your own gain, which is what these people are doing.
Flora Jessup escaped from Warren Jeff's polygamous cult on the Utah-Arizona border, then rescued other young women. She believes Chad and Lori are following a familiar playbook, using the Mormon Church to attract followers.
They go to church. They're members of the church. They recruit from the church. This is not a secret organization.
We sent detailed questions to the LDS Church in Salt Lake City and got this response. We received your inquiry, but don't have anything to offer on this.
Do you think the Mormon Church needs to do something about this?
I think they are failing their members if they don't do something about this.
Chad and Lori also used a media organization to attract followers. It's called Preparing a People. It is no longer active, and the owners stated, "We are innocent of any involvement in Chad and Lori's personal lives. Our relationship was mostly business. We have wondered if Chad and Lori used us for their media purposes without us knowing what was going on behind the scenes. It does feel like a big betrayal."
Where is your emergency?
Hi, I need an ambulance to... Yes.
Why do you need an ambulance?
I have a older male, a middle-aged male.
He is breathing?
Yes, he's breathing, but very highly breathing.
Okay, let me transfer the mace, or the medics. Do not. His eyes are moving at all.
Breathing.
Okay, is he breathing normally, like his chest is rising and falling? He's not making any weird sounds?
Yeah, he's making a very exhale sound like.
Okay, if he's doing that, we need to start CPR, so I need you to get him flat on his back on the ground.
And Alex himself was killed, I believe. I don't think he just died. Well, killed or committed suicide. We will look at the charts for those things. So we have Alex Cox's time of death as well. An interesting fact in all of this, all three people that was involved in something fishy, Melanie, Laurie and Alex Cox, all got remarried in November of 2019. So I think that's the case, yeah. Moved to Rexburg. Laurie Vallow changed the school that little JJ went to. Now JJ has autism, so he was a special needs boy and he was first at a school which was the Life Academy that was really good and catered to the needs he had. He even had a service dog. Now the service dog was taken back shortly before he went missing, which is very unusual. He was taken out of the school that he needed to go to and then moved to Rexburg School. So the poor children endured so much. They, I believe, witnessed the death of Charles Vallow. Then they're seeing their mother move on to somebody else, their uncle killing their father and then having to move schools. It just would have been so hard. And then to lose his service dog, like, that's crazy. So it seems very calculated and very planned, whatever has happened. Now, I do have a number of times for when they went to visit the storage unit, which began, they had made 10 visits, which began on the 1st of October 2019 at 2:30 p.m, then on the 2nd of October at 1:30 p.m, the 3rd of October at 1:30 p.m. So what I'm going to do is do the charts, the horoscopes for all of those times and see what they were doing with the storage unit. So I'm going to do a set of charts for that. So basically I'll be doing charts for the death of Charles Vallow, the death of Alex Cox, the death of Tammy Daybell, the disappearance of JJ, the disappearance of Tylee, and then the rental storage unit dates. That's at this point, I have all of those charts to look at. Here's a map that shows us some movement. So Rexburg, Idaho's up here. The family home of Laurie Vallow and Joshua and Tylee and their stepfather, Chad Daybell. Springville, Utah was where Tammy Daybell's body was exhumed on the 11th of December. Chandler, Arizona was where Charles Vallow was shot by Alex Cox. And then Hawaii was where Laurie and Chad Daybell went on the run and were found on the 25th of January 2020. So we have a few states involved here, unfortunately, which makes the mapping a whole lot harder. Now I do have an idea of where to map anyway, but still. So the majority of the incidences were in Idaho and Arizona. And later on I will look at the court dates and things like that as well, but I think it's important to get through the beginning of what's going on and get to the map, so I can put some directions up and see perhaps whether these children are there, whether they're alive, whether they're deceased. As I said, I haven't looked at the charts yet, so I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to play out. So I found an interactive timeline that's really good. I thought we would just go through it and it would explain a little more. So I'll read it out. The Rexburg Police Department announced their search for JJ and Tylee on the 20th of December 2019, and the following day investigators announced their mother, Lori Daybell, and her new husband, Chad Daybell, as persons of interest in their disappearance. So that was the 21st. The couple married within weeks of the death of Chad Daybell's previous wife, Tammy, and Lori's husband, Charles, who was shot and killed by her brother, Alex Cox. January 1st, 2020, Lori Daybell makes her first appearance in court in Idaho after she was extradited from Hawaii, done up like a dog's dinner, makeup and everything, smiling like a God knows what. Okay. The judge reduced her bail to $1 million, and her husband, Chad, and family members of the missing children attend the court case. Okay, so we go back a little bit here. March the 9th, 1990, Chad and Tammy Daybell get married. 2006, Charles and Lori Vallow get married after she divorced her third husband, Joseph Ryan, who died. 2014, Charles and Lori Vallow move to Hawaii. 2014, July, the Vallows, Charles and Lori, adopt Joshua J.J. Vallow. 2015, in May, Chad and Tammy Daybell move their family to Salem from Springville, Utah, after he hears a voice saying they need to move to the area. He starts writing a whole ton of books about hearing voices and how, well, you'll see some stuff coming up on the religious side of Chad Daybell. April 3rd, 2018, Joseph Ryan dies of an apparent heart attack, Lori's third husband. December 5th, 2018, Chad and Lori make their first podcast appearance together. I believe that this is an important date, 1 year before a whole bunch of other stuff happened. So December 5th, 2018, these two met each other and got on well. In February 2019 to March 2019, for 58 days, the family said that Lori disappeared. We're not sure where she was. February 8th, 2019, Charles Vallow files for a divorce. He's saying that Lori threatened to kill him and stole money, and later he changed his mind and said that he wanted things to work out. Unfortunately, he was killed in July by Lori's brother. May 2019, Lori's niece, Melanie Bordeaux, asks her husband, Brandon, for a divorce because she wants to join this religious thing with Lori. July 11th, as we know, Charles is shot dead by Alex. The last phone call, August the 10th, 2019, 36-second FaceTime call. September the 3rd, JJ is enrolled in Rexburg School. September the 23rd, JJ is last seen at his school. So I'm using 3 p.m. because I'm assuming that that's after school. And then that was it. He was unenrolled the next day and never seen again. The 24th of September, he was unenrolled. As I said, October 1st, 2019, Laurie rents the storage unit and is seen on video. It's a 10 by 10 storage unit in Rexburg. The very next day, October 2nd, Brandon, who I mentioned before, says that he was shot at and missed his head just by inches. New reports indicate the shooter was driving a Jeep registered to Charles Vallow. So I think we can put the pieces together there, that October, Alex Cox was still alive, and I think that he probably tried to shoot Brandon Bordeaux. October 9th, Tammy Daybell calls 911. She says she was shot at with a paintball gun in her home. Now that's weird, October 9th. October the 10th, Tylee's Venmo account was used. Well, that's interesting. I'm sure it wasn't used by her. But if it was, then we have a timestamp here. And then on the 19th of October, Tammy Daybell dies. First, they thought it was natural causes. She was only 49, so no. Now they're saying it's suspicious. She was buried on the 22nd in Utah. On the 25th of October, friends of Tylee get a text, but they don't think it's her that sent it. The Bordeaux's divorce was finalised in November of 2019. Police say Chad and Laurie Daybell told witnesses that Tylee died years ago, and Chad told people that Laurie had no minor children. That was in November of 2019. November 14th, Melanie Bordeaux was arrested for trespassing on Brandon Bordeaux's parents' property. 26th of November, there was a welfare check for JJ. I have an address here so I can utilise that for the mapping. There was a search warrant issued at the home on the 27th. The 29th, Alex Cox gets married. November 30th, Melanie remarries. December 1st, they fly to Hawaii. Then they get married on the 5th. That's all three of them getting married. The 11th, they exhume Tammy's body. The 12th, the very next day, Alex Cox mysteriously dies. The search for the children was announced on the 20th of December. 21st, they were named persons of interest. That's Chad and Laurie. Statement released on the 23rd of December. And then it just goes, the police know something's going on, and then there's warrants, awards, and a few people speak out. And then the court case begins, etc. So that's pretty much where it is at. So now what I'm going to do is show you just quickly a couple of the charts that I'm going to look at, and then on the next video we'll start looking at the charts. Okay, so here is some charts that I have ready to look at. So we have, the first one is this one, Charles, if you can read it, Charles Vallow shot the 11th of July 2019 at 3:44 p.m. as we saw from the timestamp. So here we have Scorpio representing Charles and Taurus representing the suspect. That's interesting. Okay, I'm not going to get into it now, but so that's the one chart. Then this one here is Alex Cox, Laurie's brother, dies at roughly 3:27 p.m. on the 12th of December 2019. There we have him ruled by Taurus and the perpetrator ruled by Scorpio. This is going to be interesting. Tammy Daybell dies the 19th of October 2019. Roughly at 9 p.m. when she went to bed, it was said that she died then. So we have a Gemini ascendant, which is representative by her, and a Sagittarius suspect descendant, which is representative of the suspect. So we'll look at that one. JJ vanishes on the 23rd of September 2019. Now I've put 3 p.m. because it was after school. He's represented by 0 degrees Capricorn, and 0 degrees Cancer is the suspect. That's a female, by the way, and it's also a mother, and the moon is in the 7th house. I can already see that. And then the other chart I have here is when Tylee vanished, the 8th of September from Yellowstone National Park. I've got the photo as being 12 lunchtime. So that gives us that Scorpio rising again for her, and the Taurus suspect yet again. This is a very interesting pattern here, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. Okay, so please keep an eye out for the next one. I hope you got a bit of an understanding of who's who in that. And if not, I'll summarize and go through that again at the beginning of the next video. Okay, thank you for watching and take care. And please subscribe. Nearly 70% of the people that are watching my videos haven't subscribed, so please do me a favor and do that. I don't make any money from doing this, so if I can make a little bit from ads, then I'd be so happy, because it'll help me get my feet on the ground in America where I need to be. So it's all for a very worthy cause. So please just hit that button, that's all you have to do, and hit the bell for notifications. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.